Okay, it's important to know where your files are stored for your website before we go any further. And where you installed XAMPP is probably in C:\XAMPP, since that should be the default. And that's where you should install it, at least on Windows. Okay, so now what you need to do once you're in here is go down to htdocs. htdocs is where all of your website stuff is going to reside. Okay, so what we do in here is you either put your website right in the root here, or we can make a folder. So I'm going to say new folder, and I'm going to call it blog. Okay, and then we're going to be installing WordPress in here. And when we go to localhost :81/blog, it will root us into this and bring up WordPress. Now, don't worry about the 81 thing. I'm going to deal with that a little later. Okay, so we're going to download WordPress. This is at wordpress.org. And we're going to download the latest zip file. And click OK. You can also install Bitnami, and then you can use the pre-installed WordPress in there. But I like to do mine manually so that I have full control of what's going on. Okay, now what we need to do is come back here, and we need to set up a MySQL database. Okay, so we're going to go over here to admin. It'll bring up a web page for us here where we can administer our databases. Okay, let's create a new database. And then where it says create database here, I'm just going to call it blog and create. Now what we want to do is go over to privileges here. And then we want to add a user account. Okay, and then here we want to put whatever we're calling it. So I'll just call this blog as well. And then here, any host. Okay, we can change this to localhost. Okay, and then our password here. Repeat. Okay, now we want to go down here and grant all privileges. And then go in here and check all. Okay, and you see that it is now checked all privileges down here. And we're going to click go. Okay, and there we go. We now have a user attached to our new database. Okay, so WordPress is downloaded, so we need to unzip it where we downloaded it. You can't unzip in htdocs, so you can just do extract all. I use 7-zip, so I'm going to use that, which is a free program you can download if you'd rather use that. Okay, so wait for that to finish unzipping. Okay, so we'll go in here and in here, and we're going to just copy all these files out of it. So select them all, copy. And then we want to go back to our htdocs directory and blog. And now we're going to paste all this in here. Okay, now we're going to access this WordPress install. So all we have to do is go to localhost :81, since we have an 81 now, /blog with a capital B, and it'll bring up the installer. Okay, and here we are in the WordPress config. So we'll continue. Okay, now it's telling us we need our database name, and we already did that. Okay, so our database name was blog. And our username was blog. Password in here. Okay, Okay, localhost, and then the name of our table prefix. So you can change this if you want or leave it the same. And that's it. So let's submit. It's going to check and make sure it can get to our database. It can. Run the install. Okay, so we'll say my blog and then your username, a password, your email address, and you want in the search engine and install WordPress, and away it'll go. Okay, and that's it. So let's log in here. Okay, and here we are all logged into WordPress. Okay, so that's how easy it is to get things installed. Okay, now I'm going to show you how you can get at it from the internet. And at that time, we're also going to be dealing with the port 81 thing that we did. I'm not going to be going into using the secure ports at 443. You need an SSL certificate and stuff like that. So we're just going to be talking about sites that normally come in on port 80. Okay, so in the next video, we are going to go over how to set up things so that you can access your site from the internet.